They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same. They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Can everybody hear me all right? Y'all let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. Got a few folks in. That's what's up. Most High in Christ. That's not the way I want to do it. All right, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me all right. Give me a 1 in the chat. Y'all can hear me all right, all right, all right. Most High in Christ. All right, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. under Commanding General Yohana. This is Monday night's class, the history class. I want to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbarakatham. And to the sisters, Yahweh Shema Alathan, Bashem Yahweh Shah. All right. Got a few folks in the building already. All right, let's see. We got Sister Deanna in the building. Shalom, sis. Got my brother, Officer Yagadar, in the building. Shalom, shalom, brother. Officer Carl Sapar is in the building. Shalom. All right. And we got Trooper Kazaki in the building. Good to see you, brother. Shalom, shalom. All right. Before we get too far into the class, who can tell me what everybody in the world is celebrating today? It's always a damn day. Always something to make somebody supposedly feel good. Who can tell me what today is? Particularly for our brothers and sisters who are in the world, and for Esau, so he no longer feels guilty. He doesn't feel guilty anyway, but y'all know. All right. Yeah, who can tell me what today is? Let's see who knows. Let's see who can tell me what today is. Okay, that could work. Sister Nazama Nah is in the building. Shalom. Yahweh Shemala Thumb Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, yeah. Who can tell me what today is? Today is a so-called special day for some of these folks. Give Sister Nazama Nah a hand. She came in. It's a lot here. She came in firing shots with answers. Water, sis. I appreciate that. There we go. Yes, Sister Nazama Nah a hand. Jupiter Kazaki is absolutely correct. Sister Deanna is absolutely correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are celebrating or whatever, acknowledging, observing MLK. MLK, which is, we know in the truth, that is one of the worst individuals that should be celebrated. That is not what we should be doing. Well, first of all, we don't celebrate birthdays in here anyway, because that is not of the Most High. Absolutely right. Give also call supply hand. MLK. We don't celebrate birthdays anyway. We don't acknowledge them. We're not acknowledged. You know how old we are, but there's nothing to be observed like that, right? But more so, right? Zamana said half the Caucasians took off from the plant today. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. But in addition to not acknowledging and celebrating birthdays, period. Like let's talk about some reasons why. Just some practical reasons why acknowledging or giving him any type of reverence makes absolutely no sense at all. Who can give me some perspective on why it makes absolutely no sense to give any reference to MLK? Who wants to share some perspective on that? Sister Aisha is in the building. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Shalaki. I just messed that up. We start over. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahweh Shah. Who got some ideas? What's some reasons why Giving reverence to MLK makes absolutely no sense, particularly if you are black. Your sister Nazama nine hand. She's absolutely right. So he wanted to integrate when the Most High said to separate. And of course, my brother is going to put it a lot differently than the sister. Obviously, Yakatar. He said the ninja set us back about 1,000 years. He's probably right. That is probably accurate. Give me a little bit more though, bro. Like it. Now going back to Sister Nazamana's point, she's absolutely right. The Most High told us to separate. So let's think about what was the and this is we're not gonna go the whole class is not gonna be on this, but we gotta talk about it a little bit. Um, what's the again the practical ramifications of that? What's happened to us since then? Zaki said it as well. Tried to integrate us with Esau, right? And if I could, he did. Yeah, he absolutely did. Damn near single handedly. Just to be honest, said the same thing. Integration. So so why is that? Y'all let me know why is integration, which you are all correct. Why is integration not something that should be relevant? There we go. Zamana said the loss of businesses, medical fields, ownership, exactly. All of that went. All of that in our communities went completely away. It's like there was a time, again, we've talked about it before in this class, where after slavery so-called ended, chattel slavery ended, our community started to thrive. They began to absolutely thrive because we were the most skilled individuals in this entire country because of the captivity that we had been in. We did not need any other nation in our neighborhoods and our business districts. We didn't need any of that. We were self-sufficient. We operated to ourselves. We lived to ourselves. We were separate. More so, we were closer to how the Most High wanted us to conduct ourselves. Again, holy means separate, and we were closer to where we should have been or where we should be, in reference to just being separate and to ourselves. We did business with each other. We lived around each other. We looked out for our own neighborhoods. There was no reason for any other nation to really come in, and we weren't quote unquote allowed to really go into the other communities. So we had to stay by to ourselves, as Zephaniah 2:1 said. We had to gather ourselves together, and so that brought a lot of benefits to us. We didn't, Lucky, I'm not going to go there yet. That brings benefits. That brings benefits. So many of these other nations are fully aware of the benefits that being separate into your own nation brings, which is why there's a Little Italy, which is why there's a Chinatown. That's why there's all these different things, because they know the benefits of staying with your nation. And we began to realize those benefits, which was why we had things like Black Wall Street, and even Jackson Ward and Richmond. We had all these communities all across the country where we set up shop, Rosewood, where we set up shop, and we were able to build our communities and maintain the safety as much as Esau would allow, right? Because he's so wicked and bloodthirsty. But we were able to maintain our communities and build up our communities. And those are the type of things that Sister Zamana said that we lost by integrating, that we lost by joining ourselves to this oppressor. And Carlson Parr makes a great point. He said the damage one man did is unbelievable. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we are quick to get behind get behind a quote unquote leader, as we should be. The problem is we're getting behind the wrong lead. We constantly get behind the wrong leaders. We absolutely get behind the wrong leaders. We're supposed to follow we're supposed to follow the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, and we're supposed to follow the instructions of whoever the Most High is speaking to at that time. And right now, it's Commanding General Yohana. That's why this is the home of the truth, because this organization started and it's been going since 1969. And Commanding General Yohana right now is the highest ranking man in the school. But he is the one that everybody should be following, and he's who we should actually be listening to. And if we did that as a whole, we wouldn't be in the situations that we're in now. Our communities would be better. Our nation would be safer. This oppression would be over or close to it. Once we everyone comes back to the law, statutes, and commandments, then we can get the Most High's protection back on us. But you are absolutely right. Also calls for part of the damage that he did is unbelievable. And it's something that, again, we have to be very, very mindful of, because we have to, as we always say in our history classes, we have a negative relationship with history, particularly with our history, right? And so it becomes easy to disconnect from it. But here's what happens when you disconnect from it. When you disconnect from our history, which no other nation does, when we disconnect from our history, things like this day, they're going to reference Martin Luther King and lift him up, and he was so great, so on and so forth. And if you don't know your history, you won't understand the damage that he actually did. You will think that this is a good thing because that's what you're being told, and you don't have any context to put it in. That's what history provides, context. And context is so important. To know a thing is one thing. You have to know it in context or it doesn't mean anything. To know that, he was so great because he wanted everybody to live together and integrate, and not know that it destroyed our communities. To not know that allows you to then celebrate it and think that he's this wonderful person. All right, that is absolutely a heavy point. Good Sister Nizam, on the other hand, the man being respected in the home is something that was lost in integration. Absolutely lost in integration. Once we started to integrate, now the welfare programs came and all this government assistance. And guess what? Now there can be no man in the house. Now there can be no man in the house. If you want any help, then you need to get rid of him. And once you get rid of him, now you break down the fabric of the family. And then you fast forward that to the feminist movement. Because now the sisters are over here having discussions with Esau, these Shedemites, and these women have issues with their man. And then you know what? We're all sisters, girl. We all women. As if there was any kind of similarity in any plight that Esau had with our sister. So then what she does is, you know what? You don't even need a man. And then our sisters took that on. Our sisters took that on, like, we actually, you know what? We don't need a man. Like, think about, we all heard it. Our sisters are quick. I don't need a man. I'm independent, so on and so forth. I don't hear too many other nations' women saying that. I mean, now, admittedly, I don't really talk to too many other nations either. But y'all let me know. Is that something that y'all typically hear? Has anybody said that? I don't hear these oppressors, these female oppressors talking about them in that way. I don't hear where it be these so-called Asians talking about them in that way. I don't hear the Jewish Israeli talking about her man that way. Our sisters took that on, and that was a result of aligning themselves with this oppressors, these female oppressors, and that further destroying our families. That is an absolutely good point. Y'all let me know that. It might just be me, but I don't think I hear too much of that. Sister Aisha said, I speak the truth. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. Sister Zamana said, they need and love their man. Right. Right. They need and love, and they know that they need their man. There's no question. They talk a little trash. They might talk a little trash, like that much. and then it's a wrap. It's an absolute wrap. Let's see. Oh, see, Haagen-Dazs say even them Newport smoking Becky's hold on to they man. Exactly, exactly, exactly. But lining ourselves with this oppressor, that's definitely one of the results of it. Let's see. See, Haagen-Dazs said the American dream was never our dream until he had his dream. All right. Say that again. The American dream was never our dream until he had his dream. And his dream, let's keep it real. His dream was to be with them Becky's. That was that was his goal. That was his purpose. He wanted to be with some Becky's and go over there with them Kens and live that lifestyle because I'm better than all these ninjas over here. I need to go over there and I need to be able to be with a Becky openly. That's what he really, really wanted. He was doing it anyway. He was absolutely doing it anyway. And if anybody doubts that, please do a little bit of research. It's not even difficult to find. He was already doing that. Matter of fact, he was doing that before he got with Coretta. I believe he was in college and he had old Becky at the time. That's all he wanted. That was his dream. And then that obviously became, the beginning or the continuation, I should say. That's in the beginning, but the continuation of the nightmare that our communities have been in. Also, calls for us that we start recognizing our enemies and important how important ourselves and love for ourselves we give it to all the enemies. Right, right, and that's another good point about knowing the context of history because being happy about Martin Luther King is being happy to be close to an oppressor. Being happy about what Martin Luther King did is being happy that your community is destroyed. Being happy that we don't have the love for each other that we should have. We were closer again. We were closer to it then than we are now. We were closer to loving each other the right way than we are now because we wanted to get with this oppressor so bad. We wanted the love of this oppressor so bad. And we give our love to this oppressor so bad or so much that we fail to give it to each other. We fail to give it to each other on a regular basis because we're so busy wanting to give it to him. That's what being happy about Martin Luther King Day does. When you recognize Martin Luther King's birthday, whatever day this is, national holiday, whatever, that's what you're doing. You're recognizing that you're okay with our communities being absolutely destroyed because that's the direct result of it. Super Shamaga Bar in the building. Shalom. Yabba Shabakatah. Also, calls apart said, and turn us from our God to many other gods. That is absolutely true. Now, we weren't following the law, statutes, and commandments. We haven't been working back up. Soon after, right? Soon after we came out of slavery. So a few of us were starting to wake up, right? But again, it turned. You think about the morality of our communities back in the 50s and 60s. There was a different there was a better moral compass. There was not an objective moral compass, but we had a better moral compass as a whole back then. We had a better moral compass. Our family stayed together. Our communities, again, stayed together. We looked after our communities. We looked after each other. Our neighborhoods were safe. How many of us have heard a grandparent or maybe an uncle or somebody, talk about how they remember back in the day when they could, the communities were so safe they didn't even have to lock the doors. Who is it? Just me? Because I got several family members tell me those stories. Does anybody else remember hearing that? Does anybody else remember hearing how communities were so safe at one point that you didn't even have to lock the doors at night? Sister Nazama said, "Come." So she can remember that. She can remember that. Anybody else? Because what we had back then again was we had no problem policing ourselves. We had no problem policing ourselves. Something happened, somebody touched a little girl, a little boy, something like that. People found out about it. The men in the neighborhood was gonna be like, "Whoa, we're gonna take care of this right now." We didn't have to worry about there was no drug epidemic back then. There was no drug epidemic back then. Obviously, Yakadar said he's familiar too. He said didn't lock no doors, crime-free zones until Esau showed up. Exactly. We didn't have any issues in our community until Esau showed up. And then when we went to get next to Esau, absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Now, once we're next to Esau, like we said, the man comes out of the house. There's no protector there now. The communities are all dispersed. We're not looking out for each other now. And the ones that we do have are so downtrodden because they pump drugs into them. They pump drugs into them. Now everybody in the neighborhood is strung out. So yeah, now you can't keep your doors locked anymore because I got to break in your house and steal something so I can fix this drug habit. This is how quickly. I mean, you talking about within what was it, 68? I think the so-called civil rights bill was signed. Think about where we were 20 years later in 1988, where there was a crack epidemic everywhere in every black neighborhood. Aligning ourselves with an oppressor. Zamanasa community looked out for everyone, especially on your street. Exactly. Exactly. Everybody knew everybody on the block. Everybody on the street knew everybody. Somebody going out of town. Look out my house. All right, cool. No sweat. I got you. Hey, I saw your kid. Your son was over here messing up last week. I needed to highlight you about it. Matter of fact, I said something to him, but I just wanted to let you know too. I got him straight, but I wanted to let you know too. And you know what we said? No problem. Appreciate it. That's a community. That's a family. That's safety. Now people can't say nothing to your kid. You say something to a kid now, boy, you gotta be ready to, you gotta be ready to fight the parent. You gotta be ready to fight. Hey, young man, you shouldn't be doing that. What? It's a whole nother. We done lost so much being close to this oppressor. Because this oppressor has no respect for anybody. Their children don't even respect them. Let's see. Make sure I got everybody's comments. Sister Nizama not talking about she said they're crazy, but not stupid when it comes to needing a man. They're not. They're wild out. They talk some trash, but they not. They ain't going too far. They definitely not going too far. They ain't dumb. Let's see. Sister Nizama says you have to be asleep to believe Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. Right. We woke up in ISUPK. Damn right. Damn right, sis. All right. Yeah, we just wanted to, touch on that a little bit. We're not gonna spend too much time on. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to talk about. So, who has seen the Book of Clarence yet? Y'all let me know. Triple Kazaki said he can remember that too when you can not have to worry about locking those doors. Absolutely right. You hear about the elders telling us about that. Our older generations stuff was so safe, and now it's a complete war zone. Now some of our so-called projects or whatever look like third world countries. All right, systems I said no sweat. Let's see. All right. Kazaka said he has not seen it yet. Officer Yagada. He said, I'm struggling to watch the joint. It looks so disrespectful to me. All right. Tell me what looks disrespectful to you about it. I want to make sure I'm with you. What's disrespectful about it? Or maybe you should just tell me what your perspective of it is. All right. Sister Diana said, all right. Let's see what Officer Yagadar says is disrespectful. I will say this, so I'm not going to talk too much about the actual movie because I don't want to get no spoilers away. Plus, I can't wait to see. I have seen it. I can't wait to see what the general's Commander General Hana has to say because it's a very very interesting movie. Um, it's it's the one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it. But I want you to want to get your perspective on Seattle about it. It's worth seeing to me if for no other reason than you see every so-called Jewish Israelite person in that movie is black. That to me, off tops, was damn near just worth it because I don't think that's ever been shown before, especially on a a high stage like that. Um, so that was definitely worth it. Don't look for uh, accuracies in the Bible. It's just an entertaining story. All right. All right. I was trying to wait for you, Yagadog, to because I don't want to spend too much time on that either. But um, I think it's a good watch. I can't wait to see what the generals have to say about it because they always give great insight. And there's a lot of it's one of those movies that I think it's worth seeing multiple times because there's a lot of subtleties in it. But anyway, a lot there. All right. So we are going to keep it moving. We're going to get back, pick up where we were last class. All right. We were talking about the Most High's laws and one of his most serious laws that he has done some serious destruction over. All right. Who can tell me what that was? You were in last class. Who can tell me what there's a particular law that we were talking about uh, that Israel broke repeatedly, and the Most High had a response to. You can tell me what that law was. Let's see. All right, I get obviously I get down here. Absolutely. Interracial marriage. We're gonna do a quick recap, obviously. So that is exactly what we were discussing. Who can tell me where we first find no, where that was first established? The idea that we should not be um, joining with, marrying other nations. That's another way to phrase it. Get Sister Aisha hand, mixed marriages. Absolutely. We went over where that was established, when in the Bible that was established. Who remembers that? Let's see who remembers that. We know that the Most High does not want us. It's against His laws to be marrying other nations. Absolutely right. Give off Yagadah a hand, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And we talked last time about how when the Most High put Adam to sleep, which just means he was doing some things that Adam wasn't aware of. Does not mean he laid him down and put him in some type of general anesthesia, which is what the Christian church teaches. He didn't perform physical surgery and take his rib out and then form a woman. That's not what happened. All right. He just he was working to make sure Adam got with Eve. Eve was his cousin, and the scriptures say he closed up the flesh thereof, and that just meant that we're going to close this so you're only going to deal with your family now. That's all it meant. All right. Now I think we were getting into the second iteration. Well, not that second iteration. That was the first one. That was the establishment of it. All right. What we were getting into, I think, at the end of class was um, when how can I phrase it? What was the trying to figure out how to phrase this? A lot of you. So that law was broken at one point, right? As so many laws were, right, by Israel. Who knows? There's a major event that happened as a result of it, though. As a result of marrying other nations, who can tell me what that event was? And this is all walking up to. Um, we're going to prove we are Israel, and this is. And I don't know if I said this last class, but here's the roadmap for it. All right. Um, there was a split in the kingdom of Israel, the nation of Israel. You had your northern kingdom and your southern kingdom. The northern kingdom was then taken off into captivity, and that runs. I think that's to the end. No, they were taken off into captivity, and then generations later, the southern kingdom, 70 A.D., was scattered. All right, and so we're walking through how to prove who we are, both northern and southern kingdom. All right, but in order to get there, where we're going is we're walking through what happened, how the split happened, why the split happened, and then going through uh, um, the events that then led to them being scattered into the Assyrian captivity. All right. So that's just to give you some perspective on the larger picture and why we're covering some of the stuff that we're covering. But again, there was a major event that happened as a result of uh, so-called interracial marriages. Who can tell me what that event was? Who wants to give it a shot? Who wants to give that a shot? Let's see. Officer Yagada is on it as always. The flood. All right. Who's familiar with that? Who knew that the flood, Noah's Ark, and all of that was directly related to interracial marriage? Kind of like who knew that? All right. Just knows I'm now said like I know sweat. We're gonna get into it in 1 second. Who else? Kind of like who knew or did not? All right. Here we go. The most Yagada said Kai. He knew no sweat. All right. We're gonna get into it either way. All right. So let's go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. That is not what I want to see. So, like, what did I just do? All right, there we go. Y'all bear with me. Sister Aisha said she did not know that either. Okay, no sweat. We're going to break it down in 1 second. As soon as I get my screens right, y'all bear with me. Can everybody see that all right? Give me once, like if y'all can see that okay. All right, there we go. All right, y'all let me know, but we're going to keep it rolling, and if I need to make it bigger, I will. All right. Um, this is not the right. You know what? All right, the wild. Okay, here we go. Good night. All right, appreciate y'all. Y'all can see it. Okay, no sweat. This is Genesis chapter 6, verse 1 says, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. All right, and the daughters were born unto them. So obviously, as we talked about before, I think it was a question at the end of class about Adam and Eve and how mankind was made kind of in a boom like everything else, right? And then Adam eventually was raised up, okay, from the dust. Um, that dust is just from a lower state, all right. But it said it came to pass when men began to multiply the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. So of course, Adam, there's other men, there's other women, there's all that, and they're having children, and generations are going on, right? Verse 2 that the sons of the power saw daughters of men that they were fair. So who are the sons of the power? Who wants to take a guess, take a shot? When it says that the sons of the power saw the daughters of men that they were fair. What does it mean? Who are the sons of the power, the sons of God? Who can tell me? Give it a shot. The sons of the power. Who is that? All right. Sister Nazama said men of high social status. I want you to keep that. It's a lot, but I want you to keep that in mind. All right. Keep that answer and that idea in mind. The sons of the power, all right, are just the descendants of Adam, sons of Adam. Because Adam is the first man who the Most High gave the breath of life, which is the law, which is knowledge, which is the ability to follow instruction and not just be the savage out here, to have some discipline, to make wrong and right decisions. All right. So the sons of the power, which Adam's descendants, saw the daughters of men that they were fair. Now think about what we just said about closing up the flesh therein, right? This is the descendants of Adam looking at other nations' daughters. And they saw that they were fair, and it goes on, it says, and they took them wives of all which they chose. What does this describing now? Uh-oh. Y'all got to try to have a Hebrew class. Maki, I'm going to get close. Let me see. Oh, Salaki. I want to ask. Okay, so no, I'm not going to do it. Yes, I am. Who wants to translate Officer Yagadar's? Who wants to see if we can translate Officer Yagadar's Officer Yagadar's statement, his word? That is really small on my screen. I know what it is though. Yeah, Officer Yagadar, if you want to give it to him, go ahead. I'll give it to him if you want. Who wants to give it a shot on what that word is? This is one of those that I know everybody has seen before. We've gone over it in the Hebrew class before. See, I don't know. Might have stumped him. All right, well, we're going to go and give it to y'all. It's Yasha Allah. That is Israel. That is Israel. There it is. Officer Yagadar is on it. Ah, look, Sister Zama got it. Y'all give her a hand. Damn right. Damn right. That's Yasha Allah. That's Israel. Absolutely. All right. Officer Yagadar saying this definitely sounds like Israel as far as this behavior that we're seeing. All right. But what that is, though, if you have the sons of Adam looking at other nations, the daughters of men, and I mean the sons of Adam are looking at the daughters of men. Damn right. Absolutely. She was absolutely on it as usual. All right. But that is Adam's descendants looking at other nations, people that are not, women that are not in their family. They're not their cousins. They're not none of that. They're just going out getting these strange women. All right. Now, let's jump to verse 4. It says there were giants in the earth in those days. What does that mean, giants? Sister Zamana, I'm looking at you. What does it mean to be a giant in the earth? There you go. You know what? Sisters in the UPK are sharp, boy. Damn right. Men of high social status. They were giants. They had power. They were very, they social status. You knew them. You know, that's but because again, this we always have to remember that this book is a black book, and it's written in the way it's written. There's a lot of metaphor. There's a lot of, um, um, this means that. It doesn't literally mean that they're giants walking around in the earth, but that's what the Christian church teaches. No, you're absolutely right. It was men of high status, high social status. These are giants. They are well respected. They are wealthy. They have power. All right. So, starting back from the top, it says there were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of the power came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children with them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. All right. So again, when it says the sons of the power came in unto the daughters, what does that mean? This is pretty straightforward, but I want to make sure we all got it. As you can see, they came in unto the daughters, and then they bare them children. So what does it mean? Okay, yes, that's true, but I want okay, right. And having kids with other women in the nations, exactly. They were laying down, they were having sex with these women, and they were having kids. He said, be like MLK having a baby with Sarah Palin. Right. That's exactly what they were doing. Right. So they bare them children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. These men were well respected because they had the power of the Most High. Right. Verse 5 says, and the power saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So this is what happened. Right. Yagadar said power, influence, and corrupted. Yes, absolutely. But what happened is here, Adam's descendants have sex with these other nations. They have babies. Right. And then the Most High saw the wickedness of man, meaning the other nations, was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Listen, Esau and all these other nations, but definitely our primary oppressor, he thinks of the most evil, wicked, horrible, uh, 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 just diabolical stuff. Just diabolical. That's what Esau does. That's who Esau is. Esau is the only person that will he he thinks I should use an atomic bomb somewhere. Like that's so how destructive and bloodthirsty do you have to be? Or guess what? I'll free we're gonna free the slaves. And we're gonna keep slaves though if they commit a crime. And then we're gonna put a bunch of laws in the book so we can just go back and arrest them. That's their imagination and their thoughts are just so wicked and so diabolical. So diabolical. We talk about it often that they have a few plays and they run them very, very effectively. But their thoughts are just evil, as the Bible says, evil continually. Verse 6, and it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. Like it. I was saying, if we lose, we taking a whole earth. Right. That's if I can't have it, nobody can. Like that. If I can't, and that's what happened to our communities as well. You guys, you know what, y'all are doing okay. We can't let that ride. We can't let that go. Y'all are doing better than we thought y'all was gonna be doing. You're damn near doing better than us. No, we'll destroy everything. But if you can't have it, I can. We'll set off nuclear bombs everywhere. That is absolutely the most. I mean, they're bloodthirsty. Sister Zamanas, it makes sense. Speaks volumes to how important the Most High wanted us to keep. How important the Most High wanted to keep us holy. Exactly. And it's in the flood. Well, a whole new perspective. Absolutely, absolutely. It was that important that we stay separate. It was that important that we stay separate because, as we see now, as we've always seen, whenever we join with these other nations, we are destroyed. We leave the Most High. We stop following the law, statutes, and commandments. And we end up on the bottom of every society that we join with. The Most High told us this, made it very clear, and we do it anyway. But you're absolutely right, sis. It's when you get the understanding of how important it is for us to really be separate, and then you think about how destroyed we are because we're not. It all makes a whole lot more sense. Most High Christ. But verse 6, it said it grieved the Most High. Because good night. What are they doing? Verse 7, and the Most High said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made him. He said, everybody gotta go. Because this is too much. I told you what not to do. I was very clear. And you did it anyway. We in chapter 6 now. We are in chapter 6. And what was it? Chapter 1, 2? Everything's wonderful. Chapter 1. Everything's wonderful. Who's creating all the animals and the birds and the fish. When he raised Adam up and got them together. This is great. 4 books later. Everybody gotta go. This is how important this is for us to be separate. He said he was going to destroy everything. Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. So that, and you can go on and the rest is kind of history. We know where that goes. And Noah got the instructions to build the ark and so on and so forth. Because still, everybody going, but Noah got grace, so he's good. The rest of y'all can go. Like, so that is again how another, example of how important it is for us to stay separate, for us to only be with each other, marrying, having children, being fruitful and multiplying with each other. All right. So the split, how the kingdom split, how the nation of Israel split. Who can guess what started that? Who can guess what the catalyst was that started, that eventually led to the kingdom splitting into, a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom? Who wants to give it a shot? Let's see. We kind of got a theme going here, so let's see who's gonna give it a shot. All right, don't everybody answer at once. Let's see. Let's see. Who wants to give it a shot? What led to it? What are we talking about? Come on, who we got in here? Let's see. Sister Diana, Chubukazaki, Kalsapa, Shamaga Bar. Who wants to give it a shot? No sweat. Yeah, I guess y'all get it on the way. No sweat. All right. We're gonna go to First Kings 11:1. First Kings. Yeah. First Kings 11:1. All right. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women. Ah, not quite. I thought y'all was gonna get that. Not quite corruption. I mean, yes, but no, but not more specifically. More specifically, again, it's the same deal. Interracial marriage is what was the catalyst for it. All right. So what was the catalyst for it? Because matter of fact, let's stop this real quick. So we all know King. What is King Solomon famous for? All right. Sister Deanna says Solomon's sin. Okay, so what was Solomon's sin? That is not far off. What was Solomon's sin? Because the Christian church teaches Solomon's sin was one thing. I've asked a couple questions. What was Solomon famous for? And based on Sister Deanna's answer, what was Solomon's sin? All right. He was famous for many wives. Absolutely. He had like 700 wives. There you go. Absolutely right, Sister Deanna. Marrying strange women. Strange meaning, as Officer Yagadar put it, strange women or heathens. Absolutely. He's also famous for, yep, he's known for his wisdom as well. Except in this. Wow. All right, so let's get the scripture back up there. All right, so but King Solomon loved many strange women. Again, strange meaning women, heathens, women from other nations, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, the Zidonians, and the Hittites. These are all women that he decided he wanted to marry. All other nations, all against the Most High. All right, verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Most High said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall that they come into you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. The nations that the Most High said don't go to, which is all the other nations, don't do that because they're going to turn away your heart. That's who Solomon loves so much. All right. Now, who can give me the precept for this verse? I know Officer Yagadar can. Officer Yagadar said Solomon was passport, bro. Right, right. He won the globe trot. He was everywhere. And I want you and that one and one over there too. And this is the sad part. It's like this is the sad part. Scripture said Israel is as a speckled bird, meaning there are any flavor that you want, you can pretty much find it in the nation of Israel. There's no reason to go to another nation. If you are, I mean, because everybody got their own, preferences, light, dark, big, slim, tall, short, I don't know. But it's all in Israel. It's all in Israel. And we still have an issue, even now, staying away from these other nations. I still don't listen. For a brother to get with a Becky is the strangest thing to me. That's never worked out well, ever. And you got what's the cat? What's his name? Jonathan Majors, whatever it is. He's sprinting full stride. This chick was in boots, stalking him down like she was Jason Voorhees or something. And then he gets the joy. It never works out well. It never works out well. But we are determined as a nation, oftentimes. Yeah, not talking about anybody in the school, but oftentimes, man, brothers be having such a problem with it. And then they Beckies be like these big whale, I mean, whatever. Y'all know where I'm going. It just don't be, sisters are easy on the eyes. Most of the time they get the worst one. Lucky. Brother Kushan, Bill, Shalom, y'all about you, I shot about the pound, bro. So, Salaki, the precept. Who can give me the precept? I know obviously Yagadon knows. I'm gonna read the scripture again. I'm not gonna bring it up yet, but I'm gonna read the scripture again. Again, this is First King 11:2. It says, "Of the nations concerning which the Most High said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods." Solomon clave unto these in love. There it is. Give Trooper Kazakia a damn hand. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Deuteronomy 7. All right. Why is this? I don't know what is happening with my little app here. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna start. Actually, I'm gonna start at verse 3. Sister Deanna is also on it. Matter of fact, I'll give Zaki a hand. Y'all give Sister Deanna a hand. And Officer Yagadar. Right, right, Yagadar. Barilla. They be listen. I don't know what happens. It's like they determined to give the worst presentation they can. So they go get the worst one they can find. I don't understand. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. All right, let me take that down. All right. So we're gonna start at verse 3. So it's Deuteronomy 7 and 3. All right. Okay. It says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them, meaning the other nations. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me. Do not let your sons marry these other nations. Don't let your daughters marry these other nations, because in both cases, what's going to happen is your children are going to turn away from me. They're going to start following their God. And every nation has its own God. We have the Most High God. But this is exactly what happens. And we're going to see it when we go back to First Kings. This is exactly what the Most High told us not to do. And he gave us the why. We don't always get the why. Sometimes you just got to follow orders. Sometimes you guys got to follow the Most High. But he gave the why here. Don't do this, because in verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me. They that may, it's like that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. This Most High is telling us, don't do this, and this is why. Very simple, right? But that is absolutely a precept. So we go back to First Kings 11, chapter 11. All right, verse 3. And he had 700 wives, 700 wives, princes, and princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. All right, as was said in Deuteronomy was going to happen. Verse 4, for it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, which means what? Oh, when he had the energy, when he had the energy, he was probably doing pretty well. When he was younger, he had the vigor. No, woman, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not following your God. I'm keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? That was wonderful when he was young and strong and full of vigor. What happens? We get old, and we ain't got the energy no more. Especially to be arguing with a woman sometimes. Lucky. Sometimes we get worn down. So when he got old, he couldn't keep his stances strong. He's growing weary. And this woman probably been asking him, hey, look, I need you to set up this altar. I need you to sacrifice this. That's been going on for decades. Now all of a sudden, pull the scripture back up. Now all of a sudden, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Most High, his power, as was the heart of David, his father. So this is you had the instructions, you knew what you were supposed to do. And this is again another reason why you shouldn't be marrying these other nations, because here's the deal. How long a marriage is supposed to last? Forever. They have to last until somebody's gone. Somebody's unalive, somebody's no longer here. Well, that might be decades. And I may have the strength. You may have the strength at first to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But over time, you might just get worn out. Over time, you might not be able to have the same type of vigor that you used to have. You might not have the same type of zeal. Over time, you might just get worn out. I'm tired of this. You keep asking me over and over again. Every year, they ask me to celebrate Christmas. Every single year, you want to invite me to, if they want to talk about a birthday party. Woman, I don't do that. Man, I don't do that. I can't do that. Then after a while, when you're worn down enough and you're older, you're up in age, then maybe, you know what? Fine. But guess what? If you're not married to that, let's rephrase it. If you're not stuck with that, because that's kind of how it feels at times, I'm sure. But if you're not stuck with a man or woman from another nation, then you ain't got to worry about that. Law, statutes, and commandments are all we got to worry about. And it's such a reality, right? If you are in the school and you don't have a husband or a wife, it is highly discouraged to go get a brother or sister from out the world. It's so highly discouraged because this will be the same thing. It's not that far. It's very similar to marrying someone of another nation, although it's not unlawful as it is to marry someone from another nation. It's highly unadvisable because you'll be putting yourself in a very, very similar situation where you're fighting with someone about following the law, statutes, and commandments. You're fighting with someone because they want to celebrate Christmas. They don't understand why you don't give them a Valentine's Day gift. They don't understand why you don't want to take them out for a birthday dinner or give them a gift. They don't understand any of that. And this is the same type of situation that you set yourself up for. All right, let's keep going. Verse 5. It says, so I can move that up. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Most High, and went not fully after the Most High, as did David his father. And it goes on to talk about how he set up all these altars, and he just continued to go down that road. So it started again with, so-called interracial marriage, but then it turned into, now you're not following the Most High. Now you're lined up with these other gods, right? I'm gonna take a step away for a second. Go to Leviticus 26 and 15. Leviticus 26 and 15. Of course, we know when you don't follow the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, there are curses that come along with it. There are curses that come along with it. But our people are so destroyed. We'll know it. We'll almost see it and still refuse to do it. We'll know it, see it, and still refuse to do it. Sister Zamanar said, my earthly father drilled that into us. We bet not. Listen. Bet not. Right. I know exactly how you're supposed to say that. We bet not even date someone from another nation, let alone marry one. Exactly. Exactly. And there's safety in that. There's wisdom in that. That's absolutely what we should be doing. And here's the thing: because of our history with in this country with slavery and racism and all that other crap, we get it in our mind that if we have this type of belief system, we're wrong. We think so often that if we don't accept all these other nations and all these other practices and all these holidays, all these celebrations, all that stuff, that we're wrong. But no other nation thinks that way. And no other nation is, because that's what Esau likes to do as well. You talk about how black people should only marry black people, or we should only marry so-called Israelites, and not so-called Slavic. We should only marry Israelites, which is so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You start talking like that, oh well. But if anybody could tell me, you start talking about separating as black people, what's one of the first things that if you're talking to Esau, what's one of the first things they're going to say? And think about what day it is. I don't know if y'all have had these conversations, but they will absolutely pull this. All right. Give me a little bit more though. Y'all are right. They might pull that. They might pull that. But it's a little, I'm looking for something that's a little more manipulative. I get they're gonna pull the racist card. They will. But give me something a little more manipulative. Think about what day it is. They might pull John 3:16. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. Think about what day it is. We just the first part of the class, we talked about a whole lot of stuff around this day. Let's see. All right. You're right, sisters. Peace, love, joining together. Okay, y'all. All right, no sweat. I give it to y'all. And maybe I'm the only one who heard this. I've heard this multiple times. You start talking about separating and stuff like that. First thing they say, well, that's not what Martin Luther King's dream was. You're going backwards from what MLK's dream was. Has anybody heard that? Y'all let me know. Kind of loud. You're going backwards as if it's a betrayal, as if since I'm saying facts, right? As if you're betraying his legacy by saying that we should separate. You're not agreeing with Martin Luther King Jr. What's wrong with you? That was his dream was to everybody to come together. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's wrong. Right. Oh, see, I'm just saying, they claim this is a post-racial America. Right. MLK's dream is it's been realized and everything's fine. I don't know why you want to separate. Really? And here's the deal, though. Again, no context for history. If we don't have it, well, damn. I guess Martin Luther King is a hero. That's what you start. That's what you start thinking. If you're not coming to the ISUPK, you want the truth. Because not understanding this will have you agreeing with that. Not understanding the context and how wrong that is, and allowing somebody to then throw that at you to almost guilt you into agreeing. I guess this is wrong. No, that's when Officer Kalsapar said earlier. It's amazing the damage that one man can do. Think about decades later. Now that we're coming with the truth, this man is used as the example of why we're wrong in their perspective. How racist we are, how mean we are, and a hate group and all. He's the one that they prop up. They don't prop up anyone else. They don't talk about all the unaliving that the Ku Klux Klan did. They don't talk about lynchings. They don't talk about none of that. They prop him up as the example as to why we should be happy with the state of our nation today. And when you talk about separating so that we can come together and do what we should do based on what the Most High requires of us, he's the example they prop up. Sister Nizama absolutely right. She said he was a weak man. Who wants a weak man? Get that sister a hand. That's why we're not weak in here. We follow that. We follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. We follow what's actually in the Bible. We are strong men in here, as is needed to lead a nation and a family. All right, right. Y'all see, y'all says like we are the entire reason racism exists. Right. It's all on us. It's all on us. Because we're saying we should separate and be to ourselves. We're saying we should separate and be to ourselves, follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, protect each other, look out for each other, so on and so forth. Oh, y'all want to be like yourself? That's racist. But guess what? Nobody tells the Jewish Israeli that it's racist. Nobody says that to any of them Asian communities. Nobody tells Italians that they're racist because they only want to stick with Italian. Nobody says that to any of those nations. It's just when we start talking about it. When we realize who we are and what we should be doing, that's when they get threatened. That's when they're now scared. But that's exactly what we should be doing. But you're absolutely right. They treat it like because we're saying it, like, no, there was never any racism until you just said that. We were all fine, and Martin Luther King's dream came true, and now you're trying to undo it and make it into a nightmare, as if we aren't already in hell. Sister Aisha said that was resolved with the I had a dream speech. When you say resolved, what you mean? Oh, meaning like racism went away because he had that dream speech. I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, that's listen. It's so horrible how he's used as a prop. And let's be absolutely clear. Esau didn't like him neither. I mean, we all know what happened to him. Esau unalived him. The FBI, or was it COINTELPRO? They're the reason why we know all the stuff that we know about him. They weren't trying to look out for him. He didn't have any fans on Esau, on the oppressor's side. But now he's the prop. He's the prop. When we start talking about coming together as a people, which is what we should be doing, that scares them and petrifies them so much. No, y'all shouldn't do that. Y'all should follow Martin Luther King. Terrible. All right. Where were we? Salakia. Leviticus 26 and 15. This goes back to, again, the importance of following the law, statutes, and commandments, and how it just breaks our people down. Oh, hold on, let me see what y'all got here. Sister Zamana says, before we integrated, it was a one-income household and we flourished. Now it's two with multiple jobs and we struggling more. Exactly. 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 Before that's a great point. Before before integration, you can have a one-income home, one income household. Now, let's keep it real. Brothers were having multiple families then. We had brothers had multiple wives and different families, and there, so, you knew a lot of times you know, pops had a whole nother family. You might not know as a kid, but people knew that Johnny got his wife here. He got a whole nother family across town. Johnny the only one working. Johnny taking care of everything. Who's familiar with that? There was I don't say no problems, but everybody knew. People knew, and they just didn't talk about it. Everybody lived life. Sister Zamanasa, I knew. Right. Right. So y'all can say you might find out at the funeral. Yeah. But oftentimes the woman, both women knew. Oftentimes both women knew. The children might have been left in the dark. Oh, you mean you knew, so like it. Sister Zamanasa said my dad had another woman and kids, and you knew. There you go. That's a time period that we had where we didn't have the issues that we have now. We align ourselves with the suppressor. Now we don't have our own communities. Again, we don't have our own grocery stores. We don't have our own textiles. We don't have our own shops. We don't have any of that. We have to go to another nation to get it all, which was prophesied in the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy. We have to go to another nation to get it all, and then that affects our. Go ahead, Sister Nizamana. She's breaking this down, and her mother. And Salakia, if I could. And they stayed together, sis. Kana la'a, sis. But that's the difference. Kana. She said they stayed together. Look at that. No, they're Israel. Damn right. Salakia. So she's familiar with that too. Yes, that. Those things happen in our communities, and they were not what they are now. They were not. I mean, it just wasn't a rarity. It wasn't. And then when you go into the Bible, you understand that that's our culture. Go ahead. She said we're married 38 years before he passed away. Sorry to hear that, sis, but that is a listen. That's Israel. That's what Israel can be. Come on. That's how you build a nation. That's how you build a nation. Right. It was all a setup. Damn right. It was all a setup. It was all a setup. But going back to what Sister Zamna first said, when you had it was one man, he might, like she said, he might be taking care of a couple families. And everything we were in our community, but now we don't have no damn grocery stores. We got to go get it all from another nation. So what do? Jack up the price. Now think about the difference. If we had our own communities, our own economics and all that, which is in the Bible, this is not we just need to just buy black. There's a lot we got to do. It's more than that. All right. But that's a piece of it. And imagine what our families would be, what our moral compass would be under, following the law, statutes, and commandments, where maybe you only need one income. And then the mother can actually mother Actually be a mother instead of, being cranked through the hospital, getting a few weeks off, and then having to give baby to a daycare so that I can go back and slave for 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. As she said, might have multiple jobs. The father might need multiple jobs. That's hell. This is captivity. But here's the other deal. When we're trying to wake our brothers and sisters up, and they're pushing and fighting against it, and I'm sure we've all familiar with that. There's always going to be somebody who says, "Nah, I ain't doing that," even if they know it. You might break it down to me like, "Yeah, that makes sense," but I ain't giving up this weed. I ain't giving up pork. I'm gonna celebrate my birthday. I'm gonna celebrate Christmas. There you go. Sister Aisha said the same thing. My father did. Had 2 wives and a family. There it is. That's how you build a nation. But think about when we're trying to wake our brothers and sisters up and we get that pushback. That understanding. We see it all the time when we are at camp. And I've said it before. We see it all the time. When people walk by, they're shaking their head, they're agreeing, brothers and sisters, right, yeah. Until you tell them what you can't do or what you have to do. Oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And what they don't realize is that's the exact thing that keeps us in this captivity that we're in. Leviticus 26 and 15. Says, and if ye shall despise my statutes, meaning despise is to detest, you don't like them, right? And think about this from a child father perspective. This is Zamanah says, this is when I act brand new all of a sudden when there was other women in the world. When they was other women in the world, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. Listen, matter of fact, I'm gonna pick this up because we're gonna keep going with this topic. So I'm gonna pick this up next class. That particular scripture. You make a heavy point because here's the deal. What I don't understand, I've heard of this. Brothers will have another woman, right? The whole quote unquote side piece, side chick, right? He'll be married, have another one. I've heard brothers coming into the school. Oh, now you realize what the situation is. Well, look here, side woman, side chick. You actually, we're married. I realize that now. I'm in the truth. I've heard of that sister being like, nah, I ain't married. Has anybody ever heard of this? It's like, as the sister said, you'd rather be the so-called side woman than his wife? That's amazing. But and to her point, sister's acting brand new, but brothers ain't out here. Brothers are out here with wives and other women. That's just what it is. That happens. It's happening anyway. It's going to happen anyway. Whether you're in the truth, whether you're not. The good thing about being in the truth is that then you won't be thrown away. A brother will not throw you away. Now he's going to stay with you. Now you're not going to ever have to worry about him leaving. These sick brothers get y'all real for lucky. But yeah, that's the ideal situation theoretically. But nah, brother, sisters, like you said, sisters will switch up, and then all of a sudden, they might have been the other woman in the world, but now, nah, you can't have no other woman. I ain't with that. So on and so forth. That's another good point. Also, Yagdar makes a good point. We take on whatever title Esau tells us. baby mama, side chick, side dude, all that, all of that. We take out all of these names, and what it should be is just wife, husband. Simple. Very, very simple. Wife, husband, family. How about that? How about that makes it a whole lot easier? How is it though that you can be so concerned, not but so dismissive of me having my quote unquote first woman until now I'm trying to tell you you're my second woman. No, I'm not. Man, that's crazy. But anyway, this is the stuff that our people are so destroyed on. But and part of that is again, society tells you, and because of this oppressor, well, every man should only have one woman. And what does that mean? There's gonna be a whole lot of single, lonely women out here because there's always more women than men. There's always more women than men. So if you have a society where only one man can have, or a man can only have one woman, you have a whole lot of destroyed women out there. You have a ton of destroyed women. Whereas if you just black people just knew the Bible and understood the truth, and guess what? Now you don't have to make your daughter a prostitute by telling her if she's not happy she should leave, or he got another woman you should leave. Now you can tell our young men with all authority, listen, you lay with the woman, that's your woman. You don't get to leave, period. And you can get another, but you can get rid of none of them. As opposed to go out here and sow your royal oats and you know. You got what was that song? Old school joint. Was it Smokey Robinson? You better shop around. That's the worst song. It's one of the worst songs. You should go out and make a whole bunch of women whores and leave them till you find the one that you like. That's terrible. As opposed to teaching our men to be actually responsible for what they do with their rod and understand all of the responsibility that comes with it. Sister Nazama Nah said, miserable women talking about independent women. Damn that I need a man. That's another good point. This independent woman stuff, it just destroys our sisters. It destroys our sisters because this is the deal. None of these independent women are saying they ain't sleeping with nobody. They're not saying that. They out here. They out in these streets. They just independent. So what does that mean? You're independently, you know, whoring yourself out. That's what you're doing. And there's another one. Papa was a Rolling Stone. She said that's my favorite jam. I'm sure. That's what's up. Most I cry. But even that, he didn't, you know, if you listen to the lyrics, he wasn't a good father. So he was not a good father. But again, this is why, you know, we had to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and understand what the Bible is actually teaching us and get away from Christianity, because Christianity is where, you know, that whole, you know, one man and one woman thing, that's Esau. If you think about it, there's a ton of cultures in the world. It's not just Israelite. There's a ton of cultures in the world that understand that it's beneficial for a nation when a man has the ability to have more than one woman. It's beneficial. That's how you build a nation. That's how you have families. That's how nations grow. But Esau is you know, one woman for one man, but yet, you know, you have the Catholic Church where they're sexually assaulting all the little boys in the church, and they just move them around. This all makes sense for them. All makes sense for them because that's their culture. That has nothing to do with us. But as Officer Yagadar said, we take on whatever Esau tells us. So and if I could, Esau is a master manipulator. He is a master manipulator. Because this idea of a man having multiple wives is hard for our sisters to understand that right now. But they're independent. But they're sleeping with men, probably multiple men, which is again destroys the community. Then somebody pops up pregnant, you don't know who the baby is, who the daddy is. Now we got to go on Maury and be a spectacle, be a show. And let's keep it real. These shows, who's predominantly on them? Us. Further perpetuating the stereotype. Further perpetuating the stereotype. When it would be so much simpler just to understand, hey, man can have more than one woman, more than one woman. You lay down with somebody that's your spouse. That's your husband, that's your wife. That's it. That's it. Now have some damn discipline and don't run around. And again, if we as a nation took it seriously, there would be discipline. Sisters would not be so freely to let themselves go. And brothers would not be, how I want to phrase, brothers would not be attracted to women who let themselves go easily. Brothers do that now because they're weak. Brothers just want it anyway. It's horrible. We're so destroyed. We are so destroyed, and the only thing that's going to fix us is come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Lucky, young man, John Rand just checked in. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. We are so destroyed, and the only thing that's going to fix us is to understand that the truth of the Bible, not Christianity. The only way you're going to get that is if you come to ISUPK under Command of General Yohana. These other so-called Israelite groups, we are not affiliated with any of them. I don't think I said that earlier. Salaki. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any Christian organization for a reason. They do not teach the full truth of the Bible. You want to learn the truth of the Bible, you want to get back to the law, statutes, and commandments coming to ISUPK under the command of General Yohana. All right. And with that, I'm going to get these security announcements real quick. We are going to have to pick this up again next week. We're going to, again, like I said, we are walking down, the path to how the nation split, and then how the northern kingdom was taken off into captivity, and how we can prove the northern kingdom's heritage, and then we will follow up with the southern kingdom as well. But again, I just wanted to get back to the background of what even caused the split. So we'll get to that next class, and I believe we'll be able to get into some of the specifics of how we know the Northern Kingdom is who they are. All right. We're the Israelites. We the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. And after this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. All right. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth, and in the Hebrew it's pronounced ma'ashira. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. You can give it to the Treasury Department. You can also go to ISUPK.com and pay it directly there. Priest Fund, which is a free will offering for priests, is not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocations next month. Time is rolling. Next month, we have Feast of Purim, which is the 22nd and the 23rd. Y'all keep an eye and an ear out. There may or may not be something going on at the actual school in Newport News, but we will keep y'all posted. And after that, we have Passover. Passover again is April 20th, 2024. There will be events going on all week in Durham, North Carolina. It's gonna, I believe they start on the 17th and run through the 21st, the different events. All right. Again, as we say, we got plenty of time. Well, time is getting shorter now. We like 3 months out. Make sure your registration fee is paid. $200 for anyone 18 and up, and children 17 and under are free. All right, and that covers all of the events of the week. All right, so obviously you're gonna get more out of it if the more you're there and the more you're able to attend. It is mandatory. If you understand you're an Israelite, being at the Passover is mandatory. It's in Durham, North Carolina. It's in driving distance. If you are in the Virginia school, Virginia area, there's really no reason not to be there. We've been saying it for months now. We're going to keep saying it, but let's just make sure we get that taken care of, all right? Salakia. And a reminder, if any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, it needs to be in all black. That's black boots, pants, shirt, headband, and war scarf. If you are not in the Virginia school, make sure you get in contact with the school in your zone. I believe you can go to ISUPK.com and look up the different numbers. And if you are in Virginia, get in contact with Officer Uriah Shema or Captain Dr. Shah. Let them know that's what you want to do, and they will get you straight. All right. There's no other questions or anything like that. We're going to get y'all up out of here. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatham. And to the sisters, Yahweh Shamar Alathan, by Hashem Yahweh Shah. I appreciate it. The water sis, I always appreciate your participation, everyone's participation, checking in and answering and giving y'all perspective on things. That always makes for a great class. All right. So we definitely appreciate y'all. The water to everybody. The water, I appreciate it, sis. I appreciate it. All right. Tomorrow, obviously, we have obviously Yagadah with the Brotherhood class. Wednesday, we will have Captain Natsuzak Shah with scripture breakdown. And then on Friday, we will have the Lashulan Kodash class again. So again, y'all make sure y'all keep coming. Y'all are doing Tawab. Y'all are making for awesome classes. So we appreciate y'all as well. All right. With that, we're going to get up out of here. Shalom, Israel.